We have at least 15 TWU deaths across the country right now in all industries. By tomorrow, that number might be 20. In New York City alone, more than 12 people an hour are dying right now from COVID-19. I watch the pundits on television say that this COVID-19 doesn't discriminate. It damn sure does discriminate. It's working people that are getting killed.
We have TWU workers who have a very high rate of illness. To run those trains, run those buses every day, they're doing heroic work. And I want to thank them very much, John Samuelsen, the Transit Workers Union.
The strategy that we're employing here is to bear down as much power as we can, industry by industry. That would be legislative power, on-the-job organizing power. It's a strategic fight to defend our members against perhaps the greatest threat of our lifetimes. In transit, it's a city by city, municipality by municipality construct. The TWU and the ATU combined is by far the most powerful entity.
The Transport Workers Union of America and the Amalgamated Transit Union promising aggressive action if transit systems don't better protect their workers from COVID-19.
What we're saying collectively, the ATU and the TWU, who by the way represent over 330,000 transport sector workers, is that we will begin to take aggressive action city by city to defend our workers, which means essentially the issuance of proper PPE, social distancing within the system, fair treatment of workers that are sick, and certainly line of duty death pay for workers that succumb to COVID-19.
Yeah.
Me and John Costa both recognize that our members are under siege in many cities across the country. So our collective force, our collective cooperation in bearing down workplace power in order to achieve proper PPE was the intent of the letter. And it was also shots across the bow. This was the ATU and the TWU sincerely putting forth a message that we're gonna fight this out city by city. We're gonna support each other. We're gonna be in close cooperation when it comes to protecting transit workers. Within an hour after the letter, there was an announcement in some of our transit cities that the PPE issuance of masks was going from surgical masks to the N95 masks.
We have masks now, and we only have masks because of the Transport Workers Union.
The trade union movement has as a first priority the health and safety of our members. The government does not have that as a first priority. The bureaucrats that run systems don't have that as a first priority. Private operators, whether they're airlines or private transit operators or private railroads, they're all trying to make money. So we sent a letter to several U.S. government agencies, OSHA, the FAA. There needs to be uniform standards protecting our flight attendants. Right now, the employers, they themselves are determining what are acceptable levels of exposure to COVID-19. A private profit-making entity can never, ever be trusted to look after the health and safety of their own workers. The U.S. government needs to intervene, just like they needed to intervene in the economy with a stimulus package. They must intervene to protect the health and safety of airline industry workers, and that's not happening right now, and it must. We're gonna keep pressing the issue. Across every one of the TWU's industrial sectors, extremely talented and extremely courageous local leaders, shop stewards, officers. We are advancing the health and safety fight and the economic protection fight. There was a battle in Philadelphia. 234 was being subjected to ridiculously ignorant treatment by SEPTA. They fought back and they won.
Union leaders gave SEPTA until tomorrow to meet their demands for safer working conditions during the coronavirus pandemic.
Sanitizer. I mean, gloves for people. I mean, when we sanitize, get some bleach. Cleaning equipment, clean these vehicles. I have responsibility to my members, but I also have responsibility to the ride public.
There is now a limit of 20 passengers per bus and 25 per trolley. Boarding is now through the back door.
They defended their members. They defended the TWU. They've advanced our health and safety in Philadelphia. Local 241, that represents maintenance workers. It was a multi-level fight that involved the international, it involved the local. It involved projecting TWU political power. The issues that they were facing were resolved. We're looking to do that local by local, industry by industry. But the international cannot come into a city and lead a fight. We need local leadership to step up. The union movement was built for this moment. Respect for us begins with us respecting ourselves. When this pandemic is over and the history is written, transport sector workers will once again be the unsung heroes of this war against coronavirus. It's working class people that are the essential workers in this society. It's blue collar Americans that are driving society forward, whether they be transit workers, nurses, grocery store workers. It isn't Wall Street that drives America. They don't produce anything. Every single piece of legislation going forward related to COVID-19 must recognize that the essential workers in America are the ones to be taken care of. Thank God for the TWU. Others lay down and you fight back. And that I'm proud of.